Everyone relax. Take a deep breath. Yes, you too, especially you who just got left on read and immediately started a full investigation like the FBI mixed with astrology. Welcome back to the potato monologue, where I am a potato with sunglasses explaining life better than most people with degrees. Today we are talking about a book that is aggressively simple but emotionally violent. The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. And before you roll your eyes and say, wow, another self-help book telling me to wake up at 5 a.m. and drink lemon water, relax. This one does not ask you to fix your life. It asks you to stop trying to fix other people, which is honestly revolutionary because most of your stress comes from caring about people who are busy not caring back. Let me explain the core idea before your brain tries to complicate it like it always does. The Let Them Theory is painfully simple. When people do something you do not like, let them. When they do not text back, let them. When they cancel plans, let them. When they choose someone else, let them. When they misunderstand you, let them. And I know your nervous system just screamed absolutely not, because we were raised to believe we must fix, explain, chase, clarify, and overperform until people finally see our value. But this theory walks in like, no. Sit down. Drink water. Stop auditioning for people who already made their choice. Let them be who they are and you be who you are without turning life into an emotional group project. Now here is where people mess this up and start acting emotionally unavailable like a Netflix villain. Let them does not mean you stop caring or become cold or start posting cryptic quotes on Instagram at 2 a.m. It means you stop trying to control outcomes that were never in your control to begin with. Because here is the harsh potato truth. If someone wants to show up, they will. If someone wants to try, they will. If someone values you, you will not have to decode their behavior like it is ancient Sanskrit. Let them is not about giving up. It is about finally realizing that your peace is more important than winning imaginary arguments in your head with people who are asleep and unbothered. This theory hurts because it exposes how much energy you waste trying to manage other people's emotions. You rewrite texts. You rehearse conversations in the shower. You lower your standards and call it understanding. You tell yourself they are just busy when deep down you know they are just not choosing you. And Mel Robbins basically walks in and says, congratulations, you have been volunteering for stress. Because the moment you stop trying to control how others behave, something wild happens. Your nervous system calms down. Your brain stops spiraling. You finally have energy for your own life instead of emotionally babysitting grown adults who did not ask to be saved. Here is the part nobody tells you, and this is where the glow-up actually starts. When you let them do whatever they are going to do anyway, you start seeing people clearly. No filters, no excuses, no potential-based fantasies. You stop falling in love with who someone could be and start responding to who they actually are. The friend who never shows up reveals themselves. The partner who gives bare minimum exposes the truth. And instead of feeling rejected, you feel informed. Because clarity is not cruel, it is kind. And once you see people clearly, you stop taking things personally and start making better decisions for your own sanity like a responsible adult who still laughs at memes. Let us talk about control, because this is where most people choke emotionally. You think letting them means you are losing control. Wrong. You are never in control. You are just anxious and calling it effort. Control is when you decide what you will tolerate. Control is when you choose how long you stay in situations that drain you. Control is when you stop trying to convince people to care and start redirecting that energy into your own growth, routine, peace, and bank account. Let them is not passive. It is selective. You are not giving up your power. You are finally taking it back from people who are renting space in your head for free and trashing the place. This theory also exposes why you are exhausted all the time. Because you are carrying expectations for people who never agreed to meet them. You expect consistency from inconsistent people, effort from comfortable people, communication from people who avoid their own feelings, and every time they disappoint you, it feels personal even though it is predictable. Let them removes the shock factor. When you stop expecting people to act differently than they always have, you stop getting emotionally whiplashed. You conserve energy. You stop waking up disappointed. You start living in reality instead of hope-fueled delusion, which is honestly a very expensive lifestyle. Now let us address the biggest fear. If I let them, will I end up alone? Short answer, no. Long answer, you will end up with better people. Because the moment you stop chasing approval, you stop attracting avoidant energy vampires who thrive on being pursued. Healthy people do not need to be chased. They meet you halfway without drama, mystery, or emotional parkour. Let them create space. And in that space, the right people move closer and the wrong people drift away naturally without a confrontation scene or a villain monologue. You are not losing connections, you are filtering them. Here is the sneaky part of the let them theory that nobody puts on a motivational poster. It forces you to sit with discomfort, because when you stop reacting, you remove the distraction. No more over-explaining, no more chasing closure, no more sending that final paragraph you know will not change anything. And suddenly, you are alone with your feelings, which is terrifying because now you cannot blame them anymore. You have to deal with your attachment patterns, your fear of abandonment, and your habit of tying your worth to how available other people are. Let them is not easy, it is quiet, and quiet is where growth happens even though your brain would rather choose chaos because chaos feels familiar. This is where the theory upgrades from relationship advice to life advice. You let them at work too. When coworkers gossip, let them. When someone gets promoted and you feel salty, let them. When people underestimate you, let them. Because reacting emotionally to every external trigger keeps you stuck in survival mode. Mel Robbins is basically saying stop letting other people's behavior decide your mood, productivity, and self-worth. You do your job well, you grow quietly, you move strategically. And one day people are shocked by your progress because they were too busy watching you react instead of watching you build. Let them freeze mental bandwidth, and that bandwidth is where confidence, competence, and glow-ups are born. Let us talk about the biggest takeaway because this is the part you actually apply. Let them does not mean you stay in bad situations forever. It means you stop arguing with reality first. You observe, you accept, then you decide. If someone keeps disrespecting you, let them and then remove yourself. If a situation keeps draining, you let it exist without romanticizing it and then walk away. Boundaries are not loud, they are quiet, consistent actions. You do not announce them, you live them. And suddenly people either adjust or exit. Either way you win because peace was the goal, not validation. And finally, here is the part that will make some people uncomfortable, and that is how you know it is working. When you stop chasing, explaining, and fixing, you stop being available for nonsense. Some people will call you distant, some will say you changed, some will say you became cold. Translation, you stopped being easy to drain. And that is not a flaw, that is growth. The let them theory is not about becoming heartless. It is about becoming intentional. You still love, you still care. You just stop bleeding for people who would not hand you a tissue. And if this video made you feel attacked, congratulations. That means you are exactly the kind of person who needed to hear this. So here is your final potato wisdom before I roll back into the grocery bag of life. The let them theory is not a magic spell that fixes people. It is a mirror that fixes you. It teaches you that peace comes from acceptance, not control. That freedom comes from detachment, not indifference. And that the moment you stop chasing the wrong things, you finally have space for the right ones to find you. So the next time someone disappoints you, confuses you, or drains you, remember this one sentence. Let them. And then let yourself move on, grow up, glow up, and live a life that does not revolve around managing other people's choices. This has been a potato explaining emotional maturity better than most humans. Like, share, subscribe, or do not. I will let you. Bonus ending because the algorithm loves a clean emotional landing. Before you click away and pretend you did not feel personally exposed, I want you to try this for 1 week. Just one. Every time you feel the urge to chase, explain, double text, or overthink, pause and say let them. Watch how much time you suddenly have. Watch how your anxiety drops. Watch how people reveal themselves without you pushing. And if you want more psychology explained by a potato who is tired of emotional gymnastics, you know what to do. Subscribe, or do not. Either way, let them. Alright, last one. True outro energy. If you made it till here, congratulations, you just sat through 15 minutes of emotional accountability without throwing your phone, which is character development. Remember, this channel is not about becoming emotionless or superior. It is about choosing peace over performance and self-respect over stress. Life gets lighter when you stop forcing doors that were never meant to open. So carry this theory quietly. Do not weaponize it. Do not announce it. Just live it. And the next time chaos knocks at your door, you already know the answer. Let them.